I'm Tina,
And I'm Priscilla, and
and
we
we
are
are
the
the Sente Sisters. We're so excited. I don't know about what, but anyway. So, the subject for today is just we were talking about. I was telling Priscilla I've been reading this series of books, and it's it's fictional books, but there are characters in the book that the relationships that they have with God are like all throughout this book. And I've just really identified with some of the different characters. And in the most recent one that I'm listening to, one of the characters in the book was talking about success and how you measure success. And I thought, wow, I'm listening to an audiobook, right? But I was like, what if I had a printed version of this? I would like take that paragraph and post it on Facebook for sure, because the dad is telling the son that he can't measure his value in life by how successfully he is with his job or his career or even with his family life, because your success here on earth is measured by your relationship with God and how you are a light to other people.
Mhm.
And so then it got Priscilla was telling me about um, a radio broadcast that she heard this morning with Rick Warren. Is
Mhm.
that right? And so I thought she could share that with you too.
Yeah. Rick Warren has a little bit that he shares on Life Songs. I think it's every weekday in the morning, and about what time is that? Like 8:30 or something. And the little thing that he was doing this morning, it sounded like it was a Bible study or something. It was somebody else there, and I only caught a little bit because I was in the car just shortly. And the gentleman who was speaking was talking about the little voice in your head that tells you when you're doing something wrong, and I'm not talking about conscience, or the little voice that tells you what you should be doing or whatever. And he said sometimes, we hear a voice, and I'm not talking about schizophrenia, but you hear this
I hear
inspiration or whatever
voices.
in your mind guiding you. And he said sometimes we say, oh, God is telling me this, and then we start to question, well, is it God telling me this, or is it Satan telling me this? And you wonder where this motivation or whatever is coming from. And he said if it's something negative and you hear a voice saying you shouldn't do that, or you need to be more patient or whatever, then that's convicting. That is something convicting you. If you hear a voice telling you you suck, you're stupid, you're ugly, your mama dresses you funny, no. You're
You're a horrible
lazy,
parent.
yeah, you're a bad parent, you're a bad Zumba instructor, you're a bad a bad wife, a bad whatever, or you're not living up to what you're supposed to do, or you are not successful like you think you want to be, or whatever that voice is that's saying, that's personal. That is a voice that's condemning you. And he said the way you can tell which one is God is God will convict you and guide you to point out where you're having some faults or some problems that you correct, but God will not condemn you. Only Satan will do that, because God is a good parent, and God will not say anything that's going to take away your value.
Mm.
God will never devalue you. Um, he will always correct but not condemn. And Satan wants to tear us down and take away our value, because that's an easy way to motivate us to do the wrong thing, or
To
just
give up,
to
yeah.
give up.
To give up.
Hmm.
That's true. Yeah.
Yep.
I really like that analogy too about the parent, because it's true. I say it all the time that we have to choose our words carefully. Like,
Hmm.
don't say, um, well, you should never say to your child, you're really stupid,
Hmm.
or you really are lazy, or you
Or you're
really are
bad.
this, you're a bad person, or anything like that. It's what you're doing right now is not appropriate. you need to put more effort into that. If you think your child is being lazy, don't say you're lazy. Say you need to put more effort into that. And I think that is the way God guides us.
Mhm.
God gives us these messages. I've always struggled with that. Like people will say, you have to, some of my friends used to say, and God told me, and I'm like, really? Because God doesn't talk to me like that. But then the more invested I got in the word and in my relationship with God, I get the whole still small voice thing. It's
Mhm.
not about this billboard that says, oh, Tina, by the way, this is a job you should take, you know,
Yeah.
take this exit. It doesn't work that way. God just gives us these little nudges. And I
Mhm.
really am beginning to, well, I have been for a while, been able to tune into those nudges,
Mhm.
and see the good in things, these little things. And but I have struggled with the whole I'm not successful thing. I told Priscilla today, I
Mhm.
said, I guess I could be considered successful because when I die, I think a lot of people will come to my funeral because I've at least worked really hard at being nice to people. And so hopefully a lot of people like me. But that's not even the way we measure success. I mean, success is not measured by our personal contributions or our success in business or in our personal life. It's all about, have we lived a godly life, and have we shown
Mhm.
others the light and exhibited that, and it's a work in progress. We are a
Yeah.
work in progress.
Everybody.
So we have to listen for those little nudges, and
Mhm.
that still small voice thing is so true, because if you're not tuned in, you don't catch it. You don't catch those little nudges, and you don't hear
Mhm.
those little whispers. And so you have to really be tuned in. Anyway,
Yeah, sometimes it requires closing our own mouth,
there you go. No
literally and
way, huh?
figuratively. Yeah, if you spend all your time yelling at God, I have no
Really, God?
experience with that.
I have said that.
Um,
I remember
yeah,
I remember using those exact
all
words. Really,
sarcasm.
God? Because
Mhm.
oh my gosh, when people say God doesn't give you more than you can handle,
That's
uh,
not in the Bible
that's not
anywhere.
in the Bible.
No.
No, I think there is a scripture that talks about God not putting more temptation on you than you can handle, or something along those lines. But it's not. God gives you doesn't give you any more than He can handle.
Right.
And we just have to go to Him for guidance and listen for those small voices, and
Hmm.
listen for or look for those nudges, wait to feel those nudges.
Sometimes it's not very small. Sometimes it feels like a kick in the head.
Yeah,
But
there are
you know
times. Yeah.
when you know, you know. When
When
you're
you
not
know, you
sure,
know.
then it's like, But when you know, you know.
So don't, if we can encourage you in any way, it's develop your spiritual relationship, develop your relationship with God, and make sure you share that light with other people. And the success will follow. And it may not show up in money, it may not show up in accolades, it may not show up in perfect children. I can attest to that. That was terrible. I
Get
have
that
beautiful.
on
I have
camera.
my children are awesome, but but yeah, I mean, we all have struggles and we all have issues, and it's not about that. I digress. But until we talk to you again, make yourself a priority.
Take care of you. Bye.
Bye.